It's the Field of 68 After Dark, Sirius XM, Channel 84. I'm John Fanta. The panel tonight is Ashton Gibbs and Rob Dauster. We are with you up until about midnight. We've got a lot to come. If you like blind resume game, then you're in for a treat. If you're thinking in your car right now, I don't know what the heck blind resume game is, you are in for a treat. Folks, stay around. Play it with us later on this show. Let's talk about Duke. Duke heading to Clemson tonight. How would they bounce back from an improbable home loss to Virginia? They did in a big way. 82-64 over Clemson. There was a dirty foul in this game. It got out of hand for the Tigers. We'll get to that. Ashton, the immediate reaction to what Duke did.
Played really well, especially after the dirty foul. That whole situation, I thought they kept their composure. Typical Duke. I think the identity, really playing defense, offensively, getting guys involved. They stuck to their guns, and I think Mark Williams is a big timer, man. He finishes around the basket on offense. He changes shots on defense. I thought Jeremy Roach did a good job handling pressure, making plays for guys, and obviously Paolo Banchero is big time. He hits shots. He makes plays when he needs to. So overall, they look like a top 10 team in the country for sure. There's something missing. I don't know what it is for them to be a Final Four team. I don't know what it is, but something's missing. But obviously, still a top 10 team though.
You know what I think it is, Ashton? There's nobody on that team that makes things easier for everybody else. Like consistently over and over again. There's no one there that's going to get you those easy drop-off dunks as much as you would probably like Mark Williams. Yep. I don't know how many vertical spacers there are on college basketball that are better than Mark Williams, and you don't really have a guy that can over and over again just make it so all he has to do is catch a ball and dunk it. Now he was 8 for 8 tonight, and he was terrific tonight. Wendell Moore was able to get the ball to him. I thought Trevor Keels getting into the paint, getting some offensive rebounds, 25 and 11 for him. I thought that was a big difference in the fact that they hit 9 threes. Like AJ Griffin's a difference maker. But they don't consistently have that one playmaker that makes everything easier for everybody else. They kind of, it feels like they do it by committee. They say like, okay, sometimes it's going to be Wendell Moore. Sometimes it'll be Jeremy Roach. Sometimes it'll be Paolo. Sometimes it'll be Trevor Keels, which is fine. And it works. And they're going to win a lot of games. And they have enough talent that might even be enough to get them to a national title. But it's just, they don't have that one consistent point guard, I guess, it's been the knock all year, right? That's what
it's been the knock. It's been that playmaker. Jeremy Roach is good, he's solid, but you get into March and you get into the NCAA tournament, like you said, Rob. You need easy buckets. You need guys that can make plays and make things easy. And I love Paolo Banchero, but he's still coming into his own and making the game easy for others. He can score at will when he wants to. But I think that's his next step, is making the game easier for others. But Mark Williams, I love him, man. He just really he changes the game. He gives guys energy, not only on defense but offensively. The dunks that he has, just gives your team energy, and the crowd can go crazy as well.
Yeah, it is problematic. I watch this team play at times, and I think to myself, man, I remember what Trey Jones meant to that Zion RJ show. He did so much for that Duke team. And this is a team that just does not have consistency at the point guard position. And it goes to show you that you could have all the pieces and parts in the toolbox beyond that. But when you don't have someone that can make it easier for everybody around you, it's going to be very difficult to consistently be in flow. Sometimes Duke is scoring the basketball, but they're not necessarily scoring the basketball effectively. Like, it's not a sustainable formula at times. Things come off broken plays. It just looks awkward, if you guys know what I mean. Like, it just looks like there are teams that play that have a ton of talent, and they're able to win a lot of games with their talent. Then there are teams that play where, yeah, they do have talent, but there's also such a scheme approach. They play with such great scheme that scheme's going to give them a better chance than the team with just talent every night. I think Duke has some scheme, but I don't think their personnel matches what they're trying to do. I don't think they have.
I do. I think they do, especially defensively. Like they have the length and athleticism to kind of wear you down, and then Mark Williams at the rim.
I'm talking
to be the
offense.
eraser. Yeah,
I'm talking offense.
Offensively, it can be the kind of thing where they rely a little bit on like isolations, right? Like how many times have we seen Trevor Keels get the ball on the left wing, square somebody up, put his head down, and go to his right hand?
That's what I'm saying.
Like
they're relying on their talent to make plays.
Yep, and sometimes,
not scheme.
And honestly, like a lot of times, that kind of like when you have the talent that they have, that's not necessarily the worst thing in the world. Now, the one thing I will say is this: when we watch UCLA play, UCLA. They just and so many possessions end with like a tough pull up too, and I don't think that it's quite the same level with the Duke where you're saying okay they're not getting good shots on possessions. I still think they get good shots, right? Because you're also always going to have the guy at the rim, the big fella is going to be able to catch a shoot, and you do have a guy that's been a sniper, and AJ Griffin. So I feel like I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth a little bit, but what I'll say is this: on their best day when they play their best game, I still think that Duke is the best team. They have the highest ceiling in college basketball. And I think that my biggest concern is that lacking that point guard that can make things easy for everybody else. If you go like the Virginia game, it's the perfect example. If you run into a night, Ashton, where you're kind of struggling a little bit and you're not getting things easy and it's not going well for you, and they found a way to shut down Paulo and they keep double teaming him, that's when you kind of run into a night where, okay, they might be able to get upset. So I think that if they play their best game for 6 straight games, I think that they win the national title. I think that they're better than Gonzaga.
The problem is you could say that about 15 teams.
Yeah, but yes, but I still do think that if you give me Duke's 100% best performance against any other team's 100% best performance, I would take Duke to win that game. I think that they have the talent to win those games. Whereas I think that you're only going to get their 100% best performance at a lower rate than you would a team like Gonzaga or a team like Baylor or a team like, does that make sense? Like, I think that their best is better than anyone else's best, but I think that it's less often that you're going to see their best because they lack that consistency of the point guard spot.
I think it's
what I'm saying makes sense in my head. I don't know if it makes sense to you guys, but it works.
It's gonna be a question of their toughness, I think, and that's where Virginia, I think, hit them in the mouth a little bit. They seemed a bit hungrier. They were a little tougher, especially defensively. That's what Virginia is built on. So, can they overcome the physicality of certain teams that they'll end up facing? And they got to come ready. They got to come ready defensively. It starts defensively. And then, like you said, Rob, the point guard play. Can Jeremy Roach, can he have limited turnovers? Can he, control the ball under pressure and just control the pace of the game? I think it's gonna boil down to that for sure.
And you know what else? I do think experience is a factor. Paolo's a freshman. Trevor Keels is a freshman. AJ Griffin is a freshman. Mark Williams is a sophomore that didn't really get into the rotation until the end of last season. Jeremy Roach is a sophomore. Neither of those guys have ever played in front of crowds at the college level until this season. Wendell Moore has never played in an NCAA tournament game. Think about that. He's a junior at Duke. He's never played in an NCAA tournament game. When was the last time that you could say that about anybody that was a junior at Duke that didn't transfer in?
Yeah,
so
and
I do think that. Go ahead, Fanta.
That's why I don't like Duke in the NCAA tournament. I also think that there's something to be said about the fact that when they walk in to an arena, it's going to be like Tiger Woods at the Masters. Mm-hmm. Coach K is going to be followed by hundreds of people. It's going to be a media mob, an international media mob. It is going to be very difficult for these 18 and 19-year-old kids to keep their level of focus on that NCAA tournament stage. That is a genuine concern that I have. And I think that this Duke team is supremely talented and could make the Final Four. I want to be clear on that. I do worry about the ACC. I don't know if the ACC is preparing them as well as another league would prepare a team for the NCAA tournament. And too many times in ACC play, I've seen them struggle by not having enough guard play on the offensive end of the floor.
I love that you just gave the Gonzaga argument for Duke and the ACC. That's so funny to me. The ACC stinks, man.
Ashton's just being quiet in his corner.
It's bad.
My
Pitt Panthers. It's not a good year right now, man.
Ashton,
got a big win the other day though.
You did. We have breaking news, Ashton. I want to get your reaction before I get Rob's. The people on the stream are going to see Rob's facial reaction. After that win over Purdue, Michigan's Ken Pom rating has gone from 47 to 27.
Please, no one tell Jeff Goodman. Nobody tell Jeff Goodman. I could please.
Wow.
I'm begging everybody. Do not tell Jeff Goodman what happened here tonight. Please don't. I can't deal with him anymore. Purdue's down to number 10. They're done. Purdue's washed. Purdue, by the way, they're now 126th in defensive efficiency. I got a stat for you guys really quick. The lowest that a team has ever been rated in the Ken Pom's database is 21 years old. The lowest the team has ever been rated heading into the tournament on his adjusted defensive efficiency ratings while winning the tournament was North Carolina in 2009 when they were ranked 39th. Purdue was 126th.
Wow.
That's not good. Duke in 2015 when they won were ranked 37th heading into the tournament. It's not good.